It's now officially being discussed. New reports and government briefings are confirming that major changes to U.S. citizenship laws could arrive by October 2025. Among the most talked about proposals is a potential restriction or ban on dual citizenship, something that could directly impact millions of Americans at home and abroad. For decades, holding two nationalities has been legal under U.S. law, but new movements within Washington suggest that policy could be re-examined, tightened, or even reversed. Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about the October 2025 dual citizenship development: what triggered it, what the current rules allow, what kind of restrictions are being proposed, and what it could mean for ordinary citizens, expatriates, and naturalized Americans. This isn't speculation or rumor, these are real policy discussions and administrative reviews now on the government's timeline. Before we start, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any urgent updates. Citizenship laws change slowly, but once they do, the consequences can be permanent, and being informed early is the best way to protect your rights and your family's future. Let's go step by step through what's happening, why it matters, and what every American should prepare for as we approach October 2025. The topic of dual citizenship has always existed in a complex space within American law. The United States currently recognizes that a citizen may simultaneously hold another nationality. This recognition doesn't come from a single statute but from decades of legal precedent and administrative interpretation. The government has long maintained that it does not encourage dual nationality but also does not require a citizen to give up other allegiances. For millions of Americans, this policy has offered flexibility, global mobility, and the ability to maintain cultural and family connections abroad. In 2025, however, several political and administrative developments have reignited debate over what it means to be an American citizen. As part of a broader review of immigration and nationality procedures, federal agencies have been asked to examine the implications of multiple citizenships, particularly in areas involving taxation, voting eligibility, national security, and access to government positions that require clearances. These reviews have produced new recommendations now circulating in Washington, with an implementation target of October 2025. Officials have described this period as a citizenship compliance update, but the language emerging from various briefings has raised questions about how deep these changes could go. Among the possibilities being discussed are mandatory disclosures of foreign citizenship, stricter reporting requirements for dual nationals, and even conditional limits on holding another nationality while maintaining full U.S. citizenship rights. While not yet law, these drafts have fueled public concern about whether the country is heading toward a functional ban on dual citizenship. Let's look at the reasoning behind these proposals. Supporters argue that global politics and security threats have become more complex. Dual citizenship, they say, can create vulnerabilities when individuals owe allegiance to more than one country. For example, in sensitive positions related to defense, intelligence, or federal contracts, having a second nationality might raise conflict of interest questions. Supporters also point to taxation and accountability, asserting that a clearer definition of citizenship obligations would close loopholes and ensure all Americans contribute equally to the nation's fiscal responsibilities. Opponents counter that these arguments overlook the benefits of a globally connected citizen base. Dual citizens often act as bridges between countries, strengthening trade, innovation, and diplomacy. Many are immigrants who maintain ties to their homeland while fully embracing American values. For them, being forced to choose one nationality over another would mean giving up a part of their identity, family heritage, and sometimes property or residency rights abroad. They argue that restricting dual citizenship would weaken, not strengthen, America's place in an interconnected world. To understand what a change might actually look like, it helps to imagine the administrative steps already in motion. Within the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of State, task forces have reportedly been evaluating existing citizenship databases. The goal, according to public statements, is to ensure transparency in citizenship status. That phrase, while bureaucratic, could translate into new documentation requirements for dual nationals, such as annual reporting of foreign citizenship, mandatory disclosure when applying for federal benefits, or updates to the naturalization oath that require explicit renunciation of other nationalities. If these policies advance, October 2025 could mark the rollout of the first stage, implementation of a reporting and compliance framework. This might not immediately revoke anyone's citizenship, but it could begin establishing the legal basis for stricter enforcement later. In that sense, the so-called dual citizenship ban could start as a soft restriction, one that gradually narrows rights for dual nationals over time. Let's consider who would be most affected. First, naturalized citizens. Individuals who obtained U.S. citizenship through the immigration process could face new scrutiny. Many immigrants retain their birth nationality even after becoming American citizens, often because their home countries allow it automatically. Under a revised policy, they might be required to officially declare or renounce that foreign status within a specific period. Failure to comply could lead to administrative penalties or even risk to their U.S. status in extreme cases. Next are Americans born abroad. Children born to U.S. parents overseas often acquire dual citizenship at birth because the host country automatically grants nationality by birthplace. These individuals, though innocent of any intent to hold multiple citizenships, could suddenly find themselves having to make a legal choice as adults. For families with cross-border ties, this would create uncertainty about travel, schooling, and inheritance rights. Another major group includes Americans living abroad. An estimated 9 million U.S. citizens reside outside the country. Many hold local citizenship to simplify residency, employment, or tax obligations. Any new restriction could complicate their lives dramatically, forcing them to reconsider where they live, how they bank, or how they manage taxes and healthcare. Beyond personal impact, the economic and diplomatic implications would also be significant. The United States benefits from having dual nationals involved in global business, research, and cultural exchange. Removing that flexibility could discourage international collaboration or investment. Businesses led by dual nationals might face added scrutiny or barriers when operating in certain industries. Despite these concerns, the push for reform continues to gain traction. Supporters emphasize national cohesion, the importance of single allegiance, and the need to modernize outdated rules. They believe that a uniform citizenship policy would prevent confusion and misuse of rights, especially in voting and taxation. Now, let's address one of the biggest questions viewers are asking: will the United States really ban dual citizenship in 2025? As of today, no formal law has been enacted that outright prohibits dual citizenship. What's official is the review process, not the final outcome. The October 2025 date represents a potential rollout window for revised citizenship procedures, not an automatic ban. Still, history shows that once such reviews begin, they often lead to gradual but lasting changes. This is why staying informed and prepared is crucial. If the U.S. does decide to restrict dual citizenship, the process would likely unfold in phases. First, the government could introduce mandatory disclosure laws, requiring citizens to declare any other nationality. Second, it could apply eligibility restrictions, limiting dual citizens from certain public offices or defense-related jobs. Finally, the government might move toward conditional renunciation, requiring individuals seeking new citizenship to officially give up their U.S. status or vice versa. For most Americans, the first phase disclosure would be the key moment to act. Keeping personal documents in order, ensuring accurate records, and understanding the citizenship laws of both countries involved would be essential. Legal experts often advise that if you hold dual nationality, you should know exactly what obligations and rights each country expects of you, from taxes to military service to voting rules. On a personal level, Americans should also consider what their long-term goals are. For instance, if you plan to retire abroad or maintain property in another country, giving up that country's citizenship could have lifelong financial and family consequences. On the other hand, maintaining it under new restrictions might require additional paperwork or fees. The main takeaway is to stay proactive. Don't wait until a deadline is announced to start planning. The emotional dimension of this issue cannot be overlooked. Citizenship is more than a passport, it's identity, belonging, and heritage. Many Americans have built entire lives that span borders, marrying abroad, raising bi-national children, and embracing multicultural values. A sudden change in citizenship law would challenge not only legal definitions but also personal identity. For those individuals, the debate isn't abstract, it's about who they are and where they belong. As this story continues to unfold, it's important to separate fact from speculation. The government's official position as of now is that reviews are ongoing and no final decisions have been made. However, the fact that this topic has reached the stage of formal review means it's no longer theoretical. Any citizen who holds or is seeking dual nationality should prepare for new procedures starting later this year or early next year. So what should you do right now? First, verify your citizenship records. Make sure your U.S. passport and any foreign passports are up to date and accurately reflect your current status. Second, stay informed through official government announcements rather than online rumors. Third, consult a legal or immigration professional if you think your situation might be complicated, for example, if your second nationality was acquired automatically or through descent. And finally, stay calm but alert. Policy shifts like these move slowly, but they can have a long reach once finalized. As October 2025 approaches, we'll continue to see updates, debates, and possible clarifications. It's possible the government will settle on a moderate solution such as tighter reporting requirements rather than a full ban. But it's also possible that stricter limits will eventually emerge. Either way, awareness and preparation are the best defenses for any U.S. citizen affected by these discussions. To sum up, the conversation about a potential October 2025 dual citizenship ban is no longer fringe speculation, it's part of a real, ongoing policy review. Whether it ends in a ban, new restrictions, or simply more oversight, Americans should take it seriously. Citizenship is one of the most powerful legal identities in the world, and it deserves attention and understanding. If you found this breakdown helpful, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll get accurate, timely updates as this situation evolves. And tell us in the comments, do you think dual citizenship should remain a right, or should America move toward a single citizenship model? Your opinion matters, and this is the perfect time to join the discussion. Thanks for watching, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next update.